GM4 is ZJI. Good grief, dude. I just launched the stream. You don't waste any time, do you? Just getting the chat popped out here. I'm going to just try and work a little DX into Europe really quick. I haven't streamed in a while, so I figured out what the heck. We will give it a go. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Good evening. Hope everybody's doing well. Hello. All right, let's do a life hacks quick, just for giggles. How's that? Any idea what the date is today? It is the 17th. Man, I'm way behind. Way behind on the life hacks, you guys. Steve, K1GMM, in the Green Mountain State, Vermont. Got Donovan here. He's rocking it out with me. Shaq is a disaster, but that's okay. Life hacks. Here we go. Tuesday, September 17th. Tie a small knot around your left earbud so you can easily tell them apart. I don't understand. I'm lost on... Oh, there's Captain Dave. What's up, Joe? K1GMM. Carmine, good to see you. I'm going to get back to Dave here really quick. Shrewsbury. From Shrewsbury, where? Vermont? W1EQX? What's going on, dude? Jeez, hop in the rig and come on down. Looks like there's somebody else in there, but for some... K1GMM from WD90EH. Hey, Dave. How's it going, man? K1GMM. I just launched a live stream. I'm live. I'm going to try and work some DX on 40. So, unfortunately, I can't hold it with you. But good to hear you. I think, are you still over in Italy? Yeah, I'm going to be pointed at Europe, so I don't know if you'll hear me down in Florida, but there's a chance. We'll see what happens. I'll see if I can find a spot to sneak into. I've been watching 165.5, and I can see stuff on the waterfall, so we'll see if I can actually sneak in here. Looks like it's still clear, but I do see little bumps and jumps in there, so... I'll check it, but I'm going to be down. I'll be down sub 175 most likely, unless I can find it clear. It gets busy, at night. Above 175. That's 175 to 7200 area, because AM broadcast is in here hot and heavy above 200. So, and there's no DX above that anyway. So I'll be down here knocking around somewhere. Joe, you're always welcome, man. How's it going, Glenn?
Talk to you later. Good luck there, Willis and K1GMM, WD90EH Flare.
Okay, Dave. Yeah, no problem. No, I'll be around in a little while. This may be a bust. I don't know. I just heard a Italy whiskey in there, down around 71.35 maybe, and he was cranking in here. And there's a couple spots. There's a Delta Charlie 5 Victor uniform on the cluster overlay on the pan adapter. So V9ZY. I heard him calling. Yeah, he's in there calling CQ. So he's the one that picked up. Yeah, he's on 7130. So they are in there, but we'll see. All right, dude. We'll catch you later. Hopefully, if you're around later on, I'll be around. 7-3, and I'm gonna kill the HD here. K1GMM. All right, you guys. Yeah. I don't know why this thing is behaving like this, but let's go over here. Let's give her a listen. Amps out of standby. Check to see if this frequency is clear. Stupid thing is being ridiculous, man. I'm gonna grab the standby, guys. I'm gonna grab the chat from Google. I don't like using it because it's a pig. Let's see. Okay, pop out chat. See if that works. Looks like that's working. Firefox is strange sometimes. I don't know why it does. Hey, what's up, Jared? Yeah, I'm gonna try. Busy day. Tell you about it later. Ooh, Georgia? Oh, yeah, Joe. She says, you know, if I was loaded, I'd hop on a plane and go down and hook up with Jared at the same time. We'd throw a freaking antenna party. Hey, Stacy, how's it going? All right, let me do some looking around here before I lose the entire band, because it is probably going to get really busy. It's a little early. Check the pan adapter. I want to stay below 180 because it turns into a madhouse up there. It's going to be a madhouse down here too, but let's check here. 150. Who's this?
And no, I had a real good copy. I believe that was, is that Victor Echo 2 Bravo Ida? Is that correct?
Let me slide in right above him if I can. Let's go to 135. Tune up. Is this frequency in use? Is this frequency in use? K1GMM. ALC is a little warm. I can hear a station in there. Yep, that's in Europe. It's coming out of the east. Hey, anybody over in Europe want to give me, take a look at their radio? Is there anybody in here from Europe? Take a look at the radio and see if I've, GM4 ZJI. Could you do me a favor, look around on 40, tell me if there's a clear frequency on your end? If you don't mind, I don't want to disturb you, man. If you don't feel like doing it, don't worry about it. Let's see if I can sneak in on 137. Is this frequency in use? Check 137 there, GM4ZJI. Is this frequency in use? CQDX, listening for Europe. CQ from Northeast United States, looking towards Europe, listening for Europe. Here's Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, calling CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, listening for Europe. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, calling and by. CQ Delta X-ray, CQDX. Boy, I'm getting that kerchunk. This is really annoying. CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, CQDX. Listening for Europe. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike. CQ40. Listening for Europe. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike. Calling and by. Am I too high, guys? Is 137 open? Because I'm on 137 right now. CQ Delta X-ray, listening for Europe. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, CQ. I can slide down if I have. I don't think there's anybody there. CQ Europe, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, calling CQ Delta X-ray, looking at Europe, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, CQ. Hey, XP Tech. Nope, I got an IF out of the back of the 7300 to an HF plus. I don't know why it is doing that. That is really going to torque me. It's never done it that bad. CQ40, CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, CQDX, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, calling CQ Delta X-ray, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, listening for Europe. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, CQDX. No, it's the lag. It's the lag between the rig and the software. Software's trying to play catch up. It's never done it that bad before. It's being a dink tonight. CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, CQDX, listening for Europe. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, calling and by. I see me on the cluster. Somebody's tuning up. CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, CQDX, listening for Europe. Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Gulf Mike Mike, calling and by. Yeah, you missed it, Ed. Okay, I just flipped around. I think I heard a November 5 Zulu, November India. I'll give you a report now that I'm switched around stateside here. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Mike, handle is Steve, state of Vermont, over.
Here's Jeff, Juliet, Echo, Foxtrot, Foxtrot. You're about a 5 and 6 into Mississippi.
Okay, Jeff. Thank you for 5 and 6 into Mississippi, and you're about a 5-5, 55 into Vermont. Good to hear you, man. You want to stick around for a minute? I'm going to flip back around and go towards Europe, see if there's anybody around over there, see if they're hearing me. I did hear an Italy whiskey work a VE9 down below on 130. I don't know, about 20 minutes ago, and he was a solid S9 plus, so I don't know what's happening. We'll give her a run, though. If you want to stick around, I'll bring you in, and I'll toss people over to you. Maybe they'll have a better copy on you there, over.
Hey, Roger. Well, I'd love to, Steve. I got to take my little one and drop him off here in just about 2 minutes. We were getting ready to walk out the door, and I was fixing to cut the radio off, and I heard you calling CQ, and it was kind of low, and then you came up to 5-6, and I said, well, let me just sit down here and see if I can make the trip to Vermont here before we go.
Hey, you're always welcome, dude. Anytime. Yeah, get busy, would you? Don't take a page out of my playbook. Yeah, I'm sitting here fussing with the radio, so go be productive. But thanks for making a call there, Jeff. 7-3, and have a good evening. Appreciate it there, brother. N5ZNI, nice call, by the way, from Kilo 1 Golf Mike.
No problem. Did I get your name right, Steve? Is that correct?
You did. It's Steve, Sierra Tango Echo, Victor Echo. I'm about 12 miles north of Manchester, Vermont, southwest corner. Over.
Hey, QSL. Okay, Steve. Well, nice to meet you, and I'll write this call down, and hopefully the next time I hear you there, maybe we can have a little bit longer QSO there. I'd love to talk to you a little bit longer. So I hope you good luck with the Europe over there, and maybe the band will cooperate, and you can rack up some Europe stations.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Jeff. I just looked at my log, and it's scary, dude, man. I think I've made 6 or 8 contacts in a month. I have not been on the radio hardly at all. So I really don't know what to expect. I know the bands have been absolutely horrible. I was listening on 20. I've been working in the shack this afternoon, and it's really bad. 20 was horrible here. It's better down south, but where I am, it's even stateside. There was one station that was an S9. Everybody else was like maybe peaking in S5 at best. And I'm not on a wet noodle. I'm running a phased delta loop array, 2 delta loops, even on 20. So it's, they hear okay. So it's just not, I don't know. We'll see if it's worth it or not. Over.
Hey, Roger's on that. Well, there's one good thing. You're the Vermont on 40 meters that I have in my logbook in 2 years. I just got my first Vermont here last week, and trying to get my work to all states. So you're the second one in Vermont that I have ever spoken to. I've got plenty on 20 meters, just not 40. So you're the second Vermont on 40 meters that I have. Over.
I don't know why. I think there's like well over 2,000 operators here in this state, and everybody says that. They're like, oh, we need Vermont. So I don't know what they're all doing. They're, who knows? Maybe they're all playing in the woods or something.
I hear you. Okay, Steve, well, I'm going to shut her down and get this little one destinated here. And but good to talk to you. Nice to meet you. And I look forward to a longer QSO down the road there. And good luck with Europe there. I hope you hear somebody. And we'll catch you later. Enjoyed it, and I appreciate you coming back to me. K1GMM from N5ZNI. 7-3, Steve.
Hey, 7-3, Jeff. Pleasure this side, buddy. Look for you again. Anytime you hear me in there, give me a shout. I'll answer. and I'll take the time. 7-3. I'm going to go ahead and flip over to Europe. Okay, we'll call for some DX. Anybody in Europe, listening for Europe, beaming northeast from Vermont. Here is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQDX and standing by.
Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Bravo Victor.
I think I got a Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Bravo Victor. Yeah, I need to get on the right. Was it a Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Bravo Victor? You got something going on with your audio, very warbly sounding, almost like it's maybe low voltage or something on the power supply. I'm not sure. But go ahead. Name is Steve, state of Vermont. Over. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike.
Yep, the call is correct. Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Bravo Victor. And you're 59 plus 20 dB over. That's 9 here in Ohio. And my name is Dawson Delta Alpha Whiskey Sierra Oscar November. Over.
Okay, Dawson. Wow. Thanks for the 20 over. Band is screwy, I guess, right? Yeah, you're a 5'9", no problem. And yeah, you can go in. I'm actually pushing a live stream right now. So if you go back into the live stream after it renders tonight on the K1GMM YouTube channel, you'll see what I'm talking about with the audio. Not sure what that would be. It's not it's not RFI. It's something else going on. I just figured but I can understand you. It's no problem there. Located about 12 miles north of Manchester. Vermont, southwest corner there, Dawson. Back to you, KE8HBV, K1GMM, over.
Yeah, I think the audio problem is the microphone. I'm getting a new microphone, so I think that might help the problem a little bit. So,
hey,
anyway,
Carl, what's up?
A very strong signal here in southeast Ohio.
Okay, yeah, I hope you get it sorted, man. Good path to Ohio. I don't know why. Because I have a 4,000-foot chunk of marble that sits between me and Ohio, and it's literally I'm right at the base of it, and I'm on the east side of it. So I can't quite figure that. I've never been able to figure that one out. Pennsylvania to Ohio, Virginia, that area is all good for me. On 40, so. I don't ask too many questions. I try not to ask questions that I don't have the answers to. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is kind of strange. Marble right there, and the signal must go right through it to Ohio here, but, well, you never know about the propagation radio waves. It's all strange.
Yep. It could have something to do with the mountains. I've had a friend tell me that it does have an effect, maybe it's pushing the RF, changing the angle of the dangle and doing all kinds of weird stuff. Who knows, man? But thanks, Dawson, for the call. Flip around while I can here and see if I can get some Europe. I don't know. Maybe 6 o'clock, so it shouldn't be that early. I did hear some Italy in there down on 130 about a half hour ago, so we'll see if we can see what kind of trouble we can get into. Thanks for the call, 7-3, and good luck with that project there with the microphone. You'll get it sorted. KE8HBV from K1GMM, over.
Okay, thanks for the contact. I'll let you work some Europe, and good luck with getting the European contact. 73 Kilo Echo 8 Hotel Bravo Victor clear.
Okay, 7-3 there, Dawson. Good to hear you, man, and thanks for the call. CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, listening for Europe, beaming northeast from state of Vermont. Any Europe in there? This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, CQDX. Man, I might as well flip around and just go, hey, Tantio, how's it going? CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, CQDX, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQDX, looking towards Europe, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling him by. Well, this is going to be a bust. So I'm just going to flip around and go stateside here. There's an Italy, November. I see no signal. What do we got on the cluster? Delta Charlie 5. What's DC 5? That's Germany, isn't it? He's not strong. He's maybe an S3 to 5. CQDX, CQ Delta X-ray, CQDX. Listening for Europe, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, CQDX. $71.85, Glenn. I am pointed the right way, right? CQ, CQDX, CQDX. Listening for Europe, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling CQDX. Listening for Europe, Kilo 1 Golf Mike Mike, calling him by. That's the only thing you're hearing? ZJ, yeah, the band's closed. It's CAC. Well, I'm not going to beat this dead horse. I can work stateside. Glenn, you on 71.85? Is that what you're telling me to do? Because I'll get on 71.85 and we'll have a yacker. I may be a little early. G5T. Hey, Tim, how's it going? Yeah, I wonder what 20's doing. It pops open sometimes. Who's that splattering on? It's probably like Canada, Montreal or something. Yeah, they're weak. They're real weak. Well, let's check 20. What the heck? We're not locked into one band. Man. Whoa. What did I just do? Good heavens. What's this? I'm not going to switch antennas yet until I actually hear. What do we got on the cluster? Stateside. Stateside. I did hear a VK in here about 45 minutes ago. That was cool. Right in the noise. I knew it was VK, but okay. Noisemaker. Yeah. You guys in the UK, that's what we got above 7,200. Yay. course, if I had the right sideband selected, that would help.
Number 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7.
What'll happen is the band will pop open all of a sudden
Your
after.
signal has gone down, Nikolai.
To be honest about it, I really
Can't tell that much difference between the two. I mean, you're definitely like 10 over 9, maybe a little longer, a little more.
Okay. Well, you'd be surprised what a J-type can do. You would need the 2.4-inch for that. And that
All right, Glenn.
plug to go through the hole.
185. There's no nets coming on 185. 180. There is somebody on 185, Glenn.
I'm in a little town named Inwood, West Virginia. Again, I'm in the eastern panhandle, approximately 70 miles west of Washington, D.C. And you're right, the propagation is coming and going. Over.
I'll go to 189. Freaking noise floor is surging. It's this weird crap. Really strange stuff. Hey, Randy, what's up, dude? I'll call CQ on 189. I'll use the headset. If I'm just working stateside, I love the Steve Net. Yeah, right. That's funny. Is this frequency in use? K1GMM. My tuner's acting like a dink. I think what I've got is I've got corrosion, oxidation or something on the roller inductor. Is this frequency in use? Nothing heard. CQ, listening stateside here. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike, calling CQ 40 meters. Kilo 1 Golf Mike, CQ. Was that you, Glenn? I got a Kilo November 4 right in the noise, man. Hit me again. Go ahead. Wow. Dude, that's a negative. I know it's you. But yeah, just can't hear you. Just can't hear you, dude. Give it a little time. maybe we can connect if you're still around in, I don't know, a few minutes. The band is going to do some serious shifting here, I think. But yeah, thanks for trying, buddy. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike calling CQ. CQ 40 meters, beaming west-southwest from state of Vermont. Kilo 1 Golf Mike CQ.
Kilo 4 Tango Papa.
Kilo 4 Tango Papa. Hey, good to hear you again. Looks like we worked on 20 back in, what was it, July? Something like July. Good to hear you. Name is Steve. Up here about 12 miles north of Manchester, Vermont, southwest corner. I'll give you a report on the next go. K4 TTP from K1GMM, over.
Roger, Steve. I see you in the live as well. I was trying to look it up, some calls and what you've done in Europe, but I couldn't find in Europe BNSCR. I couldn't find you. And now I'm right now picking up kind of 5 and 9, over.
Okay, yeah, got the 5-9. Whereabouts are you at, and what was your name? Give me your name and your QTH, over.
My QTH is Virginia. I'm 8 miles away from Washington, D.C. 8 miles away from Washington, D.C., and my name is Thomas. Tango Oscar Mike Alpha Sierra, over.
Okay, Thomas, very good. Yep, you're in Virginia. Wow, 'cause normally I got a direct pipeline to Virginia. You should be blowing my doors in here on 5 watts. So I might be a little early. I think I am. It's only, it's 22:13, and I'm probably a little early, but we'll see. You're about a 5 and 7. 57 coming in, just to let you know. With some QSB is pretty sharp there. Do you say your name? How do you say your name? Tumas or Thomas? Go ahead.
Yeah, my name is Thomas.
Man, QSB just wiped him out. Freaking bands suck. Yeah, it's a phased delta loop, or a parasitic. This antenna is a parasitic delta loop array, 2 40-meter loops.
Yeah, looks like you are gonna go. Anyway, good luck to you and have a nice one. Over.
Okay, Thomas, yeah, good to hear you, my friend. Thanks for making the call. 7-3, have a good evening. We'll do it again, hopefully under better conditions. Go ahead and clear with Thomas there in Virginia. This is Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Kilo 1 Golf Mike calling CQ. CQ 40 meters. Kilo 1 Golf Mike calling and listening.
Kilo Delta 8 Zulu, Quebec Zulu.
Okay, ending in Yankee. Stand by for a moment. I think there was a KD8K ending in Zulu. Go ahead and give it to me one more time, please. Over.
Kilo Delta 8 Zulu, Quebec Zulu.
Okay, KD8 ZQZ, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Name is Steve, up here, southwest corner of Vermont. And didn't look at the meter, but I suspect you're probably a 5'9". A good copy on you there. Go ahead.
QSL,
Oh, yeah.
You're coming in about 5'7" today in Michigan. The name here is Tom, Tango Oscar Mike. And the QTH is a small town called Pinckney, Michigan, and it's just northwest of Ann Arbor, which is probably the closest city that you would know off the top of your head. QSL?
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. You're don't work Michigan a lot, so this is a nice contact for me, Tom. Yeah, you're 5'9", no problem. Go ahead and get it in the log here. And let me keep things moving along. There was another station in there. Pick him up too. I think he was ending in Yankee, but I'll let you tie it off there, Tom. Thanks for making the call. Have a good evening. and just kind of sitting around waiting for the band to stabilize because it's pretty squirrely on my end. But good to hear you. Go ahead and tie it off. KD8ZQZ from K1GMM. Over.
Inverted V for 40 meters. I have it only about 15 feet off the ground.
Oh, he's talking.
2 feet off the ground at the end, trying to get an NVIS antenna going.
Oh my God.
Near my first contact since I set it up, and it looks like it's about 500 miles away or 600 miles away, so I guess that counts for NVIS. Going to twirl the dial and see what other contacts I can make. I won't hold you long. 73 and make some more contacts.
Okay, Tom. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, good luck with that. No, it's working. It's working, but where I am right now, the band is pretty bad because places that I have a pipeline into are not there. I normally can work Pennsylvania, Virginia on literally a wet piece of string on 5 watts, and it is not there right now. So I don't know what's going on. But that's what the way it's been. I hear. Haven't been on the radio much in the past month, so I figured I'd get in here and see who's knocking around. But good to hear you, Tom. 7-3. Have a good evening and good luck with your antenna. Over.
7-3, Steve. Have fun.
Thanks, Tom. The station ending in Yankee. If you're still in there, go ahead. Okay, I think I got a Kilo Delta 9 Alpha Yankee. You're just right off the noise floor. But I got you in here. Name is Steve, over here, southwestern Vermont. KD9 Alpha Yankee, Kilo 1 Golf Mike. Over.
Yeah,
Oh, there he is.
Adam here, Alpha Delta Alpha Mike, running a Palinko DX70 barefoot with a monoband dipole, northeast Indiana.
Oh man, dude, you popped right up when you came back in, a solid 5.7. So yeah, it's just the band. The QSB is really sharp. When you first hit me, you were strong. You came back in after I finished the over with Tom, and couldn't hardly hear you. And then you came in again, and you were an S7 and climbing. So yeah, it's a barrel of monkeys, I tell you. Nice job. That Alinko sounds really good, Adam. And I'm pushing a live stream. I don't know how long it's been going, but once it renders, you can see what the rig sounds fantastic, dude. I have to tell you, I've heard some Alinkos. I'm a big Alinko fan as far as their 2 meter, their high frequency VHF, UHF rigs, stuff like that. Some of the best audio on the planet out of those Alinkos. I've heard not many, but a few HF rigs. That's the nicest one I've ever heard there. Go ahead. Okay, Adam. Yeah, thanks for the call. Have a good evening, and we'll look for you again. And yeah, welcome to the madness. It only gets worse from here, dude. Ham radio, I always look at it as it's like owning a boat. A boat is what? A hole in the water in which you pour all your money. And ham radio is a lot like that, isn't it? I don't know which is more frustrating at times. I suspect ham radio is probably. But yeah, welcome to the madness. We'll catch you later. 7-3. QRZ, this Kilo 1 Golf Mike, Vermont.
4 Oscar Hotel Mike.
Oscar Hotel Mike again.
Yeah, this is Kilo Alpha 4 Oscar Hotel Mike. This is Rick near Richmond, Virginia. Over.
Okay, Rick in Richmond. Yeah, you're good. Great copy on you, 5.9. And name is Steve up here, southwestern Vermont. Over.
Yeah, QSL Steve, I just want to let you know you do have your pipeline into Virginia. You're 20 to 30 over S9 here. Over.
Holy crap. I don't understand it, dude. Normally Virginia, but the band could be shifting. How long have you been listening, Rick? I'm just curious, because like I was telling a couple of guys there, I haven't really spent any time on the radio in the past month. So I know I listen a lot. When I'm in the shack, the rig's always on, but I haven't been transmitting. How long have you been in here? Have you heard it shift around and get stronger? Or did you just pop in here?
Steve, I've been listening for about 10 minutes. I've been listening to you, and I heard when you were speaking to the other fellow in Virginia, and you've been very strong the whole time. I don't hear many signals on the band right now, but yours is certainly the strongest ever.
Okay, Rick. Now, well, I got you here. I'm curious. What are you on for an antenna, and how much power are you running? I'm running about 400 on the button right now. The antenna is a parasitic delta loop array switched into the southwest orientation right now with about 400 watts going out. I'm just, because you're receiving me so well, I'm curious what you're on for an antenna. Over.
Okay, so I'm using an NFED half-wave by...
Those freaking NFEDs work so good.
And using a ICOM 7100 running 100 watts. The other thing about you is your audio is very punchy. I'm not sure whether you have it set up to be that way, but it's very penetrating. It would be good for DX over.
Yeah, I'm actually on the headset. I run those, and before I go any further, I don't understand it, dude. Those NFEDs are killer. Absolutely killer, aren't they? I'm looking at, I don't know if you've seen this before. Do you have a minute? I'll chat with you for a couple minutes here. Over.
Oh, sure. I got a second. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, the headset, I run a rack here. I mess around with the SSB and some Voodoo audio, but I run a headset primarily for DXing. And I try to keep it exactly like you're hearing it. Something that will punch a little bit better. The other one is a rag chew setup, so that's what's going on. There's a few bits and pieces. An Aphex 204, it's a 2-channel module, and I set up one side for rag chewing. The other side is on the headset for DX work. There's 30 band EQs in line, along with expanders and compressors and all the goodies. Not because I have to, but because I want to. So nails in that coffin. So that's what's going on. I'm looking at, I run a 160 meter inverted L, quarter wave inverted L. It uses a folded counterpoise underneath it from Steve Ellington. His design, well, I don't know if it's his design, but I got it from him from a YouTube video. And it works great. And I stumbled upon a build where you can use that exact same antenna, because it's a half wave on 80 meters. So you can either build or purchase. I haven't decided yet. I need something that'll take a little bit of power, I use these high amperage relays for the antenna systems here. They switch back and forth. And this build, you can use the quarter wave 160 meter L and then basically turn it into a half wave NFED on 80 meters, and it will load up 11 bands with a 49-to-1. Using a relay, it switches back and forth in and out using the same element. It goes up 60 feet and then out 76.6 feet, across the top up to about 80 feet. Really interesting design. I want to have that back up by, quiet season. I take it down in the summertime because 160 is worthless here. It's so noisy on that antenna. It's horrific. So, maybe by November I can get that in place. And I can play with that a little bit. I don't know if you ever seen something like that, because you're running an NFED, and I'll tell you, dude, those things work really good. I don't know how, I don't know why, but they do.
KSL Steve, that's all I run here. I have 5 of them. I have 2 of the my antennas NFEDs, and I think those things really will run on the fundamental and
and multiples of the half wave. The LNR precision ones will not do that, and they say they sell several multi-band units. And I think just the way, based on how I understand those antennas are designed, I think you probably have a low pass filter in there. So you have to have more than one antenna. But I'm a disciple of Steve Ellington, so I read all the stuff he writes about the InFed. Over.
That's pretty funny. The guy's brilliant, isn't he? Really good with this stuff. I don't know. Have you seen the video that he does on the high power 49 to 1? I was just watching that again this morning. I don't know if it'll take enough go-go juice. That's the problem. But I mean, in theory, what's the likelihood? 160 is a power band. Everybody knows that. Now, granted, the first contact I made on 160 meters on that inverted L was to Italy on FT8 on 5 watts. I know, figure that one out. I've worked Oregon. I've worked Texas, West Coast on phone on that antenna. So it does work, but it is absolutely worthless for NVIS. Absolute garbage for NVIS. It takes the same amount of power. How do I figure this out? Stations, I would say, I'm trying to think of the radius. This is what I found. The radius was, 600 miles, 700 miles? It takes like 3 times the power to get the same signal report on a station in a 500, 600, 700 mile radius and closer, let's say 500 and closer, as it takes to get contact at 1,500 miles and out. So yeah, NVIS it is not. Over.
Yeah, I guess I'll see if I can you got that angle radiation that you want with the DX. I've fooled around with 160. I had a full wave horizontal loop, which I never got to work satisfactorily, and I had an inverted L with some radials, and I think I had some bad coax on that one. I can actually tune my antennas 80 to 10 meter one using a tuner and use it on 6 meter or use it on 160 running a couple hundred watts. So that's about the best I'm going to be able to do. I probably have the space for it to put up the wire in the air, but I just don't want to commit to putting down all those radios. Over.
Ooh, yeah. Now, how's your ground, K1GMM? How's your ground situation there? Are you flat? See, I'm not flat. I can't do a vertical here, a textbook vertical, be it elevated or ground mounted. You know what I mean? The entire property is all sloped, and it's fairly steep. And I'm really not going to deal with wires. I'm not going to deal with all those wires in the yard. The folded counterpoise is kind of stuck. It's over on the side of the property, and that thing really works good, dude. Surprisingly good. I was ready to poo-poo that thing, but no, it works, and it's built exactly like he built it. I did it a little differently as far as parts and pieces, but it's an identical thing to what Steve has there for 160. But I'm curious what your property's like. How much property do you have, and what's the contour like?
I'm in what's called the Piedmont of Virginia. It's not flat, but my lot is
Band is shifting.
It's heavily treed. Most of my antennas are
He's down to an S4.
the odd thing. A lot of people say that these infrastructures work before it's turned
Listen to that band shift.
coax shield, and I have laying on the ground or actually just laying around, and if you have enough coax, it couples to the ground or somehow acts as the return path. And I had one experience where I got some RF feedback working portably in QRP, and just adding more coax got rid of that. So, but here it's pretty flat. We have a lot of deciduous trees, and I use one of the easy hang slingshots to shoot the wires about as high as I want. Over.
Yep, there you go. Yeah, I like my trees, dude. I love my trees. If I didn't have the trees, I don't know what I'd do, man. I, I couldn't tell you. I'm not gonna do a tower. I'll never do a tower. Tower's not even practical here. If you saw my QTH, you'd be like, nope, that's worthless. I'd have to put up like probably a 1,000 foot tower to have any effect. You know what I mean? To have a positive impact on my RF getting out of here. It's literally a canyon where I live, like a deep chiseled canyon, and it's only about a quarter-mile wide, and it's NVIS on both sides, east and west. The only advantage I have is, the real advantage is that I can go northeast. You know what I mean? Because there's a little window at about 30 degrees. I can put my RF up through there. You know what I mean? And it's perfect. At 53 degrees, that's right where I need to point to go into Europe. So that works, but yeah. No, trees are my friend, dude. K4, what was it? OHM? I think, right? Sorry, dude. K1GMM.
Yeah, QSL Steve, it's KA4OHM. It was my novice call 40 years ago, and I just stuck with that one because it has the ohm part there, and I like it. But, I live in a neighborhood where there's covenant restrictions, and the good thing about my wire antennas is you absolutely cannot see them from the street, and I have to look for them to find them myself against the tree. So, they work pretty well for me, and I've never had a tower. It's too much trouble, and I think, the only problem with wire antennas is they're going to come down. So, but I know how to put them right back up. Over.
Yep. I hear you, dude. Boy, the QSB got you on the previous over. You were right in the noise, and I released the key, and you almost crushed me. So, band is so squirrely. Have you ever thought about, because I had a friend build me an air cannon. It runs on compressed air. I'm telling you, man, that is fantastic. I'm okay. I'm pretty good with a fishing pole, a saltwater rod. But that thing, man, dude, that thing's stupid good. And it's pretty funny because I have 40-pound test spider wire on the saltwater reel on top of the air cannon. Fires a tennis ball with 27 pennies in it, and it'll put that over a 100+ foot tree like nothing. You can thread like the eye of a needle with that thing, as long as there's no wind, but I put 40-pound test spider wire on it, and I had a line fail. I have a 75-meter phase dipole array out in the front, and the southeast corner broke last week. I looked out one morning, and one end of it was hanging there. I was like, oh man. So I went out, I fired the line over, didn't even disconnect the antenna, dude. Attached the paracord to the spider wire, and I reeled the antenna and everything right up over the tree with that stuff. Flippin' hilarious, man. You can't break it. And that's the problem. If you ever hung it in the tree, you'd never break it, man. It's virtually impossible.
Okay, it's okay. 408, I'm returning. You're still hanging in there, 1020 over S9, Steve. The only bad thing about putting them up at the top of trees is that those are going to move around, and eventually I use ropes to hang them. Eventually the rope is going to break or the wire is going to break, and I came up with a new system rather than, it's probably hard to tell about it, but rather than having a rope with the wire or the antenna hooked to one end, I have a loop of rope. So I
Joe.
can easily lower antennas up and down. Just
one is noise floor, Joe.
Of rope, just kind of pulling in a
The gray is noise floor.
Easier. Over to you.
Yellow is signal strength, and red is peak. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. You gotta be creative with this stuff, don't you? I found even because I run 550-pound test paracord, and it's good stuff. But over a period, it usually takes a couple years, and we get violent winds in this valley. Terrifying. Hurricane, like Category 2 hurricane force winds. 98, 100 miles an hour plus in the wintertime during nor'easters, right? It's the narrowest point between the tectonic mountain ranges and the Appalachian Range. And I live right in it. So it's like a vortex, it compresses and it comes screaming up through the valley. And yeah, you get about a year, 2 years out of the paracord, and just even if it's swinging on pulleys, like everything's on pulleys here, with wooden blocks, so it free floats, As the trees move, it doesn't tear the antennas apart. Just that paracord holding that pulley, working on the branches and the tops of the trees, oh yeah, dude, it's going to come down. That was up there about 2 years, and yep, the other morning it was broken, sheared right off there. Over.
QSL K4OHM returning. Yeah, the other thing, we don't get winds like that here, except maybe once every 10 years when a hurricane comes through here. But I had one of the commercial My Antennas that has a tuner box that has a toroid in there and has 2 little holes cut in the bottom of it for, I guess, to equalize moisture. And I noticed it was not working right, and I cut it open, and it was full of ants. There were 100 ants in there, and I guess they secreted formic acid or something that caused enough corrosion so that antenna wasn't working anymore. But what's in there is exactly what Steve Ellington says, and I'm just going to take the toroid out of there and the capacitors and rewire it and make another one and save $160 over it.
Oh, yeah. That's the dilemma I'm facing right now. You touched on that. I thought about building one, and I look at the cost of these materials, right? I can order a 700 watt, 500 watt, 700 pep, 49-to-1 from France for like $35. I can't even get the parts, dude. I can't even build one for that. Now, I know Ballon Designs offers like a 1kW Ballon, 49-to-1. I ain't going to spend $100 on a stinking, not a Ballon, an Unknown, 49-to-1. I'm not going to spend $100 plus shipping on one of those. Are you kidding me? K1GMM.
Yeah, the myantennas.com was pricey. I paid $160 for it, and it's got nice wire, it's got nice construction, it's got a nice case, but you can buy I think they have 240 or 43 240 toroids in there, and you can get those for $7 or $8 a piece. And the magnet wire I have and the capacitors I have, and you could probably build a 3 toroid one for maybe $30, which I guess is coming close to what you could get one for commercially, but I'm not going to run that much power on mine. I think Steve, I'm not sure how much power he runs on the 3 toroid ones, but it's the thing about you heat those cores up and you hit the Curie temperature, and all of a sudden the SWR goes up. So, but I'm not sure I've ever seen any guidance about how many cores you need for how much power, and it also depends on what kind of duty cycle you're running. K4OHM, back over to you, Steve.
Yeah, K4OHM, K1GMM. How many cores did he have? Do you remember? I'm trying to think. I think he had 3. I think that was a 3-core. And I thought that was 3 cores. I think you're looking at, I don't know. See, I'm no expert on this stuff. I don't know if you could push that to 700 watts or not. I got an AL80A sitting here. It's a 1kW amplifier. I never run it at that. Never. I think I've run it at that twice since I've had it. Yeah, and that was to grab a station. I think it was in Israel, maybe something like that. Threw a pile up, I wound it right up. But I think it was 3 cores. 3 cores, and I think you were safe at like 400 watts or something like that. But I can exceed that on this amplifier. I can just tickle it. And it seems to like anywhere from 400 to 700 watts. I don't know. That's the problem. But then again, I already have antennas up for 2040 and 75. And they're all beam antennas. What I'm curious about, I would like something up that'll cover 17, 15, and 10. 6 I don't care about. I have antennas for that. 17, 15, and 10. And I'd like to try a different antenna, especially on 75, 80, because I have noticed oftentimes the difference in polarization between, see, I'm running a horizontal beam on 75 meters and 40 meters and 20 meters. Sometimes there can be quite a difference. Like I've worked stations in Italy on 75 meters in the same general area. One's on a dipole, one's on a vertical, and the received signal on their end can be really radically different. So that's why I'm kind of thinking about going that route, I'm not exactly sure how that antenna is going to behave. A half wave, if it's going up 60 feet and then kind of angled up to 80 feet for the last 76.6 feet, what does the pattern look like? I have no idea, but it would be interesting to play with the different polarizations just to be able to switch back and forth, and see which one's stronger.
Yeah, QSL. The commercial, my antennas was rated to 1
G0
kilowatt.
DTX. Hey, good evening.
ICS, which is like
John.
50% duty cycle. It had 2 toroids in it. The antenna I'm talking on now is about, it shoots straight up at about, not exactly vertical, but about 75 degrees. It's the bottom end of it is about 6 feet, and it goes up into a tree. So it's more vertically polarized than horizontal over.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah. Boy, and you're receiving me that strong. I don't know. I just can't figure it out. I'm not running that much, really. I mean, if you look at the S unit difference between what it translates from 100 watts to 400 watts, it's not much. What is that? What would that be? 102, 200, 400, so 3 times? 3 times the power, 6 times the power to get 20 dB. I'll tell you what, man, that thing is working pretty good there. I got to go up. If I'm going to stick with this, I got to get a cup of tea. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break there, Rick. I'll let you move on maybe to bigger and better things, but great to hear you. And say 7.3 for now. And if I lose the frequency, I lose the frequency, but I got to go get something to drink, man. I am torched. I've had a busy day too. I didn't expect to be in here this long, but it's been great to hear you, and it's nice to have a nice signal that I can copy. Good Lord, man. Sometimes you're just not in the mood to work that hard, and I really wasn't. So yeah, thanks for stopping by. K4OHM from K1GMM. Over.
Yeah, QSL, Steve. The one thing about those infed half waves is the radiation pattern behaves like a dipole at the fundamental frequency, but at the harmonics, there's all kinds of lobes all over the place. So it's hard to know where they're going. But next time we work, if we have more time, you should just try it on 100 watts and see it sound, because I'm sure you'd be quite readable. So anyway, go get your tea. Enjoy it. We'll catch you again later. KA4HM clear.
Okay, this right here is, I've worked, let me check, what have I got going out? This is about, check 1, 2, check. This is about 50 watts pep, 40 to 50 watts pep. I've worked a friend of mine down in Virginia on 5 watts at like 10 over. So yeah, this is 50 watts there, Rick. How copy? K1GMM.
K4HM. Steve, you're peaking at 10 over. That's nice. So I bet you could probably make it on 5 or 10 watts over.
Okay, this is 5 watts. Yep, 5 watts on the button. 5 watts, 5 watts, 5 watts? 5 what? Back to you. Do you have any copy at all? K1GMM. I love this stuff. I'm just curious, because I'll tell you, Virginia, yeah, it's like a walk in the park for me from here.
Steve got full complete copy on you there. You're peaking at level S7 or S8 on the meter. Not nearly as loud, but totally 100% readable of it.
Okay, I'm not going to make you work for it. So yeah, I'm back up to 50 watts now. So that's funny, man. You don't need the power, you know. I hear people running like 1,500 watts, you know, and they're like 40 over. And I'm like, now, yeah, I can understand it, you know, if you're trying to punch in somewhere. But good heavens. Like this, like if you and I were to sked up, right, I wouldn't even turn the amp on. I'm serious. I'd just leave the amp off. And if we couldn't do the sked at 100 watts, we're probably not going to be able to do it anyways. Over.
Yeah, so yeah, you were very loud when you first came in, almost too loud. Now it's still peaking at 10 over at times, very comfortable. And, you know, with a certain pathway we have right now, you don't need any more than that over.
That is completely crazy. Yeah. Well, thanks, Rick. I am pushing a live stream right now, as you probably know. I mentioned it before. And there are some people watching, and I've always said this, you know, you don't need, there's a lot of guys that have gotten their tickets. There's a lot of guys that have upgraded their license class all over the world that check in here. And I'm not saying I'm popular, because I'm not, because there's really not a lot of folks that catch the live streams or watch them, you know. The guys that are in there are great, that are regulars. There's new guys coming and new folks coming and going all the time. But you'll hear me say this to like new hams. You don't need, you know, people get put off. They think they need to spend all this money on, you know, they look at these big super stations and, you know, all this power. You don't need that. You don't need it. You know, I tell people, my first radio, I had a guy drop a TS430 in my hands, free, totally free. And had a friend give me a dipole. He just handed me a 40-meter dipole. And I ran with that. And I made contacts all over the place. A free radio. I bought the coax. You know, you can get your hands, have someone donate a radio to you. If it works, hey, great. Run it until you blow the thing up and throw it in the trash or fix it or whatever. Who cares? Who cares if it's 30 years old? You know, this doesn't have to be a rich man's sport. Over.
I agree with you 100% there, Steve. In fact, I'm giving a talk to my radio club next month. It's going to be called Introduction to HF Operating. It's going to be for the new generals out there that most of us probably haven't operated, and that's the message I'm going to give. You're not going to need a 7851 or a $10,000 radio to have fun in ham radio. Over.
Yeah, guys get. I've talked to people before, and they get scared. You know, they're like, I can't afford that. You know, I'm like, you don't have to afford that. You know, you can buy a used radio, $200, an old ICOM, Kenwood, Yaesu, whatever. Who cares what it is? You know, go up to Home Depot or a big box, a building supply store. Get a 500-foot spool of 14-gauge wire. It costs you about $30. And get on Amazon and grab a $15 length of coax. There you go. You got your HF station, man. A little bit of rope, and throw a rock over the stinking tree and pull that stupid thing up there. Take a fishing pole, pull it up there. You know, build yourself an OCF and get on multiple bands all at once. You know what I'm saying? For under $300. I mean, and you'd have more fun, dude. You know what I mean? That to me is like, there's something to be said about simple. That's all I'll say about that. K1GMM.
Man, I guess I really went overboard, Steve, WA3RSL.
Radios, but
Hey, Frankie.
amplifier, but I never turned it on. But when you get the radios that are costing more than $5,000, what you're paying for, really what you need that for is a contest radio, where you got to have outstanding strong signal performance with weak signals nearby. And if you don't need that, you don't need to spend that much for a radio. Over.
Yeah, exactly. No, and I don't, and hey, Frank, how you doing? WA3RSL is in there. Good to hear you, Frank. Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like that's a ridiculous pursuit because it's not. You know what I mean? And I'll always say this in the streams. You do what makes you happy. I can't stand it when people criticize what people are doing. You'll hear people criticize interests that people will have. Well, if all of us like the same thing, let's say all of us were contesters, or all of us were rag chewers, or all of us were net. I know people that's all they do is just get on nets. That's all they do. I know people that love the VHF side of things, VHF, UHF. They love the sideband work. They love the tropospheric ducting. They like 6 meters, sporadic E. I'm not going to criticize them for that. I hear all kinds of garbage on the air, man. People talking trash. If all of us were the same, we'd all be clones. And what would be the fun of that? You know what I'm saying? I marvel. I have to say, I marvel at the guys. There's a guy in the UK, and you probably worked him. He goes bicycle mobile and pedestrian mobile, and this guy is a freak show. He has more knowledge about antennas and how they work than probably anybody I've ever talked to on HF, hands down. He throws a whomping signal while he's pedestrian mobile every single time I hear him. I don't understand what the heck he does or how he does it. He walks down the road with a radio in a backpack, for crying out loud, or strapped to his hip, and he kills it. I am fascinated by that stuff. But let me put it over to Frank quick. Go ahead, Frank. I don't want to. It's DX season. It's DX time, so I don't want to hold you up there. WA3RSL K1GMM.
It's great to hear you, Steve. K1GMM WA3RSL. Okay, I don't think I ever worked that guy pedestrian mobile before. I work out Mike 0 KPD mobile all the time. He's got a big signal. Anyway, hey, a comment. I tuned you in at 7.188.96 the way I remembered your voice. Your RIT isn't on, is it?
Negative. Nope. I'm on 189. Rick, am I off frequency to you?
At least I've been listening to you for a while, so I was playing with the frequency, and your voice sounds too high pitched when I get it on 7189, and I'm on the same rig you are. I think I'm on the IC 7300, and my RIT's not on. But anyway, it's just something seems different about your audio sound or something. I don't know. By the way, you are getting some QRM from a station in Italy at my location. He's on 7188, and I worked him before. So I let you know that. So more power definitely can benefit there in certain situations for sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got to duck out. No, I'm on a headset, Frank. This is my DX headset. It's very, very sharp. Very sharp. It's what I use for DXing. I was down below, down in the extra class portion earlier, and I figured I'd run up here and see what was going on. Yeah, I can go to the back of the rack and plug in the big gun, but I'm not going to do that because I was just getting ready to clear. So let me get out of here. I did hear that. I got my back to him, but I can hear him sneaking in the back door. So he's down. Sounded like he's down maybe 1 or 2 from me, but he's not going to hear me because I'm pointed southwest. So let me get back to Rick. Rick 73, Frank 73. I got to go up. I got to check in with the wife, and I don't know. Maybe I'll come back down and do something. But good to hear you both. Rick, I'll put it back to you, and you can sign. And if you're still there, and been a pleasure, buddy. And Frank, good to hear you. And go get him, pal. K4OHM, K1GMM, Vermont. No, he's gone, Frank. Frank, I'll catch up with you later, dude. Have a good one. K1GMM.
All right.
sorry if that was my fault. You left there. I really couldn't copy him very well. Too close to me here. I went up to 7189, so I'll just say go on the same frequency you probably are on. I don't know why you just sound a little different. I guess it's the headset. Anyway, 73, and look forward to a longer contact there in the future, Steve. K1GMM WA3RSL. I'm clear.
Okay, dude. Yeah, catch you later. Have a good evening. I may be back down. I hear Lisa upstairs, so I want to. Wow, it's almost 7. Been in here for a while, so I'm going to kill the stream, and not sure what I'm going to do. I got to go up and check in. I mean, dinner may be ready for all I know. I know she knows I'm streaming, so I'll catch you later. Have a good one. Great to hear you. K1GM, I'm clear.
73. Who's a Lima uniform? Okay, KI7 Whiskey Lima uniform.
Joe, $50? That is painful. Wow. Yeah, here it's like $30. $30 for that stuff. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Kevin, how you doing, man? $30 for 14 gauge copper, blimey. Yeah, you're in Mike Whiskey Zero IBT. Wow, copper's expensive over there, huh, you guys? What's going on here? I'm gonna stop it. Yeah, crazy. So, anyways, I don't know what else is in here. Let me take a look-see. Let me take a look-see before I go.
Rig is working great, sounds great, and...
Copy. There is some QR Mexico on this frequency, but I can hear you just okay. Oscar November 5 Alpha Lima Delta from Whiskey 1 Mike Bravo Bravo. QSL?
Man, weak. See, Europe is just weak in here.
Calling CQ on 40 meters. Hello 40. Hello 40. Hello 40. Calling CQ on 40. K4LJE. Kilo 4 Lima Juliet Echo. K4LJE calling CQ 40. Hello 40. Hello 40. Calling CQ. K4LJE. Kilowatt 4 Lima Juliet Echo. K4LJE calling
QSB
CQ40.
is just wicked.
K4L.
Well, yeah, her sister got that in her in her early 80s, and Mom picked up on it at around 93.
Man, the band is just whacked out, man. It is a whack job.
But you got a good signal coming into the state of West Virginia. You're about 15 to 20 dB over S9. Over?
Anyways.
For the 20.
Oh, there's Lou.
15 overnight. And the worst of BCN. Thank you for the good singer report.
Lou. Good grief, man. Yeah, anything on 20? 20 pop open? Nothing. Total crap. Go up to... Yeah, all stateside. All stateside. It's just closed here in the Northeast, man. The band is horrible. horrible. Satellites passing over.
Guatemala something, come again.
Look at that pan adapter. That is crap.
Sorry, I couldn't copy the call. Give me a call again, please, over.
That's South America, probably. I just flipped it. That's stateside. Or South America, I bet. Okay, I'm going to get something to eat too, you guys. Have fun. Behave yourselves. Have a good evening. Thanks for stopping by. You know, all the goody, you know, you don't drink, don't smoke. What do? You don't drink, don't smoke. What do? You don't drink, don't smoke. What do? There must be something inside. Isn't that, who did that? Adamant? Wasn't that Adamant? We're all a bunch of smoking drinkers and rabble rousers and everything else. Catch you guys later, 7-3. Good to see you. Good to see so many people in here and some new folks too, man. So welcome. Welcome to the madness. We'll catch you later. Killer.